What's up guys, my name is Angelo. Since I'm getting the feeling that the hype around Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general is slowly growing again, I figured it would be a good time to make a video about it. I want to share my experience with you, which includes both major ups and downs and how my strategy changed regarding this highly volatile asset class. My goal is to keep you rational, so that you don't get too caught up in the hype and throw your own asset allocation out of the window because you think everything is going to the moon. At the same time, while nothing that I say should be considered as financial advice and you should always make up your own mind before investing into anything, I do want to talk about why I think having a small percentage of your net worth in Bitcoin and potentially Ethereum might not be such a bad idea. Then we'll talk about my mistakes and what I would do if I was starting again from scratch, as well as some exchanges that I trust and some things to look out for regarding security. Last but not least, I'll also briefly touch on a less fun yet very important topic: taxes. This part is often overlooked when talking about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, but adapting your strategy to your local tax laws can make a significant difference. As usual, before I get started, don't forget to hit the like button if you'd like to see more videos like this, and if you'd like to support me, feel free to use my links in the description below. Alright, let's talk about my own experience investing into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Last year I published a video where I showed you my entire investment portfolio in detail, where I also told you that I had bought 20,100 euro worth of mostly Bitcoin and Ethereum back in 2017 when the whole world was talking about it. To refresh your memory, here's the roller coaster that my investment went through in the 2 years that followed. So while my investments went up all the way to 67,000 euros, I didn't sell any of them as I got greedy. In mid-December 2019, my 20,100 euro investment had turned into only 7,998 euros. You can probably imagine what this period felt like, and I hope it gives you a bit of an idea of what can happen in this highly volatile space. I'm showing you all of this so that you don't get too caught up in excitement when prices go up, completely forgetting that things can move in the opposite direction very quickly. I didn't buy any more since the beginning of 2018, since I already had the feeling that I had way too much of my asset allocation invested in this very risky asset class. Nonetheless, I didn't sell any cryptocurrencies either, as I was pretty confident that we would see another bull market at some point. Luckily, I was right. As of today, November 21st, my portfolio is up significantly at 35,750 euros. So while my portfolio is once again up, somehow things feel very differently compared to December 2017 when prices were shooting upwards. Back then, seemingly everybody was talking about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and I even remember my own family members asking me at a Christmas brunch if I owned any. Even though the Bitcoin price has recovered significantly and is very close to its all-time high, I rarely see news articles about it. And if we look at Google Trends, we can see that searches for Bitcoin are a tiny fraction of what they were in 2017. Meanwhile, adoption is growing, with PayPal now giving people the possibility to buy, sell and hold cryptocurrencies directly on the service. We're also seeing more and more investment funds entering the space, and several famous investors and billionaires openly admitting that they own some Bitcoin as part of their portfolios. And I think this trend is only going to continue. Let's talk about Bitcoin versus gold. I see Bitcoin as a great alternative to owning gold and as a hedge against inflation, in addition to other assets like stocks. I personally buy ETFs. Check out my video on the topic above. Especially right now, with more money being printed out of thin air than ever before. It is limited in supply and is uncorrelated with the other asset classes. While of course it has nowhere the history that gold has, with thousands of years of history as a store of wealth, but Bitcoin has a much larger upside potential. By comparison, at $9 trillion, the market capitalization of gold is 26 times as large as Bitcoin. Of course, that also comes with more risk, but it's a bet that I'm personally willing to take with part of my portfolio. I also never really found buying gold to be practical. You either have to buy it physically and then go through the hassle of trying to find a way to store it safely so it doesn't get stolen, or you have to trust a third party when buying shares of a gold ETC. ETC stands for Exchange Traded Commodity. To me, Bitcoin is a lot easier to handle in that regard. Alright, so before we get to the next part, please remember that none of this is financial advice. This is only my own personal opinion as a 30-year-old unqualified, half Austrian, half Italian guy on the internet. So please always do your own research and make up your own mind. If I was starting from scratch today and I wanted to invest some money into cryptocurrencies, here's what I would do with part of my portfolio. First, I would decide how much of my investment portfolio I want to allocate. This is completely up to personal preference and risk tolerance, but I wouldn't go above 10%. For most people, 1 to 5% is probably plenty already. Then, to keep things as simple as possible, I would do a 70-30 split into only 2 cryptocurrencies. I would put 70% into Bitcoin and 30% into Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap. 3 years ago, I wasted too much time and money buying smaller coins. While these can shoot up in value very quickly if you get lucky, they also tend to drop significantly higher than Bitcoin does. And while Bitcoin is close to its all-time high right now, many of the altcoins that I bought back in late 2017 are still 50 to 90% below the price I paid for them. Luckily for me, I put the vast majority of my money into Bitcoin followed by Ethereum back then, which is why my portfolio recovered. Okay, let's move on to how you can buy and sell Bitcoin and Ethereum. For this, I would only use licensed exchanges that have a good reputation in the community, based in countries with a strong regulatory environment and a long history can't hurt either. So I would probably avoid exchanges in China or India or somewhere else, for example, and I would stick to exchanges potentially in Europe or the US. My favorite exchange is Kraken, which was founded in 2011 and is based in San Francisco, USA. They have some of the lowest trading fees in the space. Another option that I like is Bitpanda, which was founded in 2014 and is based in my home country, Austria. Their trading fees are a bit higher than Kraken, but they also offer more payment providers, including credit cards. They also recently launched their own crypto indexes, which could be interesting in the future. Even though both of these exchanges have excellent security standards, please make sure that you use secure passwords that you don't use anywhere else. Using a password manager is going to help a lot with that. And activate two-factor authentication to protect your funds. Also, if you own a couple thousand euros worth of cryptocurrencies, it's probably worth buying a hardware wallet like the Ledger Nano S. That way you can easily and securely store your funds off the exchanges. They even have a 40% Black Friday discount right now. One thing you shouldn't forget is that when it comes to cryptocurrencies, you are your own bank, so it's completely up to you to keep your investments safe from hacks and the likes. Alright, let's talk about a topic that I hear mentioned way too rarely when talking about Bitcoin: taxes. This part is often overlooked, but adapting your own strategy to your local tax laws can make a huge difference. Of course, I can only make general statements, so make sure you check out your own local tax laws for more details. First of all, you should keep a record of every transaction, so every purchase or sale, as proof. And here's the thing, as far as I know, in most countries, exchanging one cryptocurrency for another, so let's say Bitcoin for Ethereum, counts as a taxable event. So here's what this means. Let's say you buy Bitcoin for 1,000 euros. If you then trade the Bitcoin for Ethereum on an exchange, and those Bitcoin at the time of the trade are worth more than when you bought them, so let's say they're worth 1,200 euro now, that means that you just realized a 200 euro taxable profit for that year. And that's even though you didn't actually realize any profit in cash, you just exchanged one cryptocurrency for another. Instead, personally, what I would do is only buy and sell straight with euros to the crypto asset that you want. Meaning buying Bitcoin and Ethereum with euros directly, for example, which you can do on the two exchanges Kraken and Bitpanda. Obviously, the situation may be different in your own country, but now you hopefully know why knowing your local tax laws can be very important. There you have it, guys. While I'm feeling bullish regarding Bitcoin and Ethereum, especially in the current environment of printing never-ending amounts of money, I could very well be wrong. For myself, I'm planning to rebalance my own allocation to this highly volatile asset class back down to about 10% of my portfolio over the coming weeks. Still, I hope that you were able to learn something from my experience, both good and bad, through this video. Try to stay rational and don't forget to realize some profits along the way if prices go up. And please never invest money that you can't afford to lose. Alright, before I take off, don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you want to see more videos in the future. Also, if you'd like to support me and check out any of the exchanges that I mentioned in the video, you can find all the links in the description below. And if you want more info about Bitcoin and Ethereum, you should find plenty of channels that are a lot better at explaining all of this than I am by searching on YouTube. For the time being, I'll stick to talking about investing in peer-to-peer lending and stocks via ETFs for the most part. I hope you don't mind. Thanks for watching and until next time.